Number 14, on the perceived power creep, Rafe comments that the ending of The Eye of the World has a battle scene that feels impossible to top, but the books do it time and time again, and the show will too, and that they are going to need a massive VFX budget for the last battle. Well, you're gonna need a bigger budget than you got, because
let's get.
I've been watching. People keep saying CW graphics are bad, right, and all this stuff. I don't know, man. I've been watching Smallville, and let me tell you, that's like CW 2002, and they had some decent VFX then.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
There's some better VFX in that than there are in this, and this is 2020. So
yeah, well, I will say this. I like that the ending of The Eye of the World has a battle scene that feels impossible to top, right? And then you top it in the next book, and then you top it in the next book. And whether you agree with that or not, they're on the same scale, right? They're at least mega battles, and that's a good thing to know. I like that. I want to see. That's how the books felt. I mean, if you're going to wrap up book 2 and 3 together, like Matt's saying, with the whole Falma or Tyr, wherever it's at, like give us that battle in the sky and let's go at it.
Right. Yeah, and we've talked about this, COVID, all this stuff. Although I will say, our issues, I didn't have an issue with the VFX in the final battle of the thing. I thought it actually looked kind of cool. They summon the lightning, it's all sweet. It just should have been Rand doing it, not the girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get you.
That's a story. It's a story decision, not a
right.
Not a graphics decision. The issue,
right? Because it would have been. I think people are like, well, what would you have done with the girls? And it's like, it's really not about it's about building who the dragon is or who this person is. Like again, I love the moment, right? But I guess I know why people say, well, that's why I wonder what the original script said. Like, did they give that same sort of, that aspect of it to Nynaeve and Egwene? Or did they change that? Like, was Matt involved? Was there more kind of?
Yeah.
Did they all go?
I think you just could have had the city getting attacked and have Egwene, and you could have had them like doing something on a smaller scale,
using the power to save a few.
Using the power in the city, having like more of the women, right? Because all the men go forward, like the women of the city, which they say is going to be a thing. Using bows and arrows and stuff like that. You could have had Egwene and Nynaeve healing people, which would have been cool, because then you could have shown Egwene healing people and then having to heal Nynaeve too afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, the dragon, because they talk about like, did Rand fail when the Trollocs start coming through? It's like, no, he just hasn't finished it yet. And then you could still do that big lightning thing and have it be from Rand.
Yeah, and the other bit they're trying to get to is like, not having that Trolloc horde kind of invade the city and keeping Valdara. So anyways, it's just what they did, and it's different. And
I hope they have a bigger budget for season 2. They've greenlit it for season 3, so I would imagine that they will.
Yeah, I think our biggest thing too is not that you gave a big moment like that in them defending the city. Just give another, like, even if you would have made the fight or whatever it was at the Eye of the World more monumental,
right?
We would have been like, all right, fine, get like that feels evenly spread, and that's okay. And there's a grandiose moment here, It just felt like their moment was actually more grand.
It feels like we've been the whole season was saying, hey, the Dragon Reborn is this really important thing, and then it feels like it's not.
Yeah, because we got that guy transforms.
Especially because earlier we were told by Moraine that the Dragon Reborn's power, yours looked like a trickle of this, like the sun, all that stuff.
But visually,
because he actually can't even do it by himself. He needs Sangreal to even do it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Gosh.
Here we go. Number 15. On the Moraine shield stilling situation, he can't reveal anything because of its importance to future seasons. Also, Moraine will get to explore her true strengths, willpower, and intelligence over her channeling abilities. Mm-hmm. This is a big change, so we're gonna have to sort of see how it goes. Really, it's hard to comment on until we kind of see. Could be cool the way they do it, and again, I'm fine with any change as long as it works. If it doesn't, then it's easy to criticize because you have a guide. You literally have the playbook on how to make it work.
Yeah, Robert Jordan wrote it down for you. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, and I think this is something that could be potentially cool, and I wonder how far they're going to take it. And like it talks about like her willpower and her intelligence, and one of the moves she makes in book 2 is to go seek out more of the prophecies. It seems like they're under informed, like they don't know enough about these prophecies, and they don't really know what the next step should be for the dragon. Their plan was to throw the dragon in front of the Dark One, and they don't even really know much about that. So it's like,
I mean,
I think we'll see her seeking.
And to be honest, really, Moraine doesn't really, honestly, outside, like once you get past book 1 from this until the end of Fires of Heaven, she doesn't really use the power that much on like Paige. So it's kind of it's kind of like okay. It's weird because we don't know where you're going with it, but story wise, I don't know that it's really going to change that much. She kind of takes a backseat and is just kind of an advisor to Rand. You kind of forget she's there.
Yeah, exactly. Book 2 for sure. And it's not until like book 3 at the, like even towards the end of that, where which is what they might be doing, which is like a whole season of her not using her power, and then she figures it out, or she kept that to herself, or she learns a way to do it. And I don't know if we'll see in season 2 if they're just going to do the Falma situation where it is really Rand and Perrin and Matt doing all of the fighting and the heroes of the Horn. Then Moraine can still be going through whatever it is that she's this arc or dealing with the shield slash.
What if you also give some of the things she does, like with Balefire,
right,
to Moraine and Egwene and seems like Elaine, and it's them doing it, and that it sort of scales up the girls. See, like instead of Moraine doing it, it's the girls that get scaled up.
Yeah, could
and to make them seem more powerful, and I guess on an equal playing field with some of the other. It's like I'd be okay with that. It's a weird way to do it, but I can see with Moraine's, like she does end up taking, like in book 4, she's just there in the Isle Waste with Rand, like hanging out,
right, advising, trying to get in. So she goes and gets that knowledge, and she does in tier 2. So that's where I think they might be taking some of her going into like tier. She goes down into the basement and she goes through the Tirangrial to the realm of the snakes and the foxes or whatever, and then she does that again in Rudion, or she goes through those Tirangrial. So it's all about information and intelligence. And then I could see
him going a different route too, where imagine if she gets caught by the White Cloaks. I mean, now we're talking like way off script here, but it's more into the book, into the show verse. She gets caught by the White Cloaks and they think she's a channeler, but she actually can't channel anymore.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
So that could be a cool scene.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just have to see. I think this is very interesting, and I'm happy with what's going on, and I think it's fitting. And yeah,
have to see it play out.
Yeah, for sure.
Rafe wanted to introduce the the White Tower in season 1 before even pitching the show, as the Aes Sedai are a core element of the show, and one of the things that truly makes Wheel of Time unique. 100% down. I'm 100% fine with that. Moving that forward, the Aes Sedai is for the show watchers. I do think you